Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are here for the December, yes, that's right, December 2017 Worldox Virtual User Group meeting, where today we are talking about the viewers. Mary Jo is going to show you both viewers and everything there is to know about them, and profiling email from your phone, something we've been able to do for the longest time that most people don't know. I'm going to talk about that.
So we are going to talk about this little viewer on the right and also how to see this in a full screen mode. So I'm going to hide it for a moment so you can see how that would look. So normally your screen is in there like this. It's just your list. I probably believe Paul's in his favorite files. And this is just showing me my list. But if I don't want to have to double click and open this email, or if there's Word documents or whatever it is, and I don't want to have to open the document until I'm sure it's the right document that I want to open and do something with, you can look at them through the viewer. And I'm going to pull down here a little bit just to find a document. Paul saves a lot of emails. Yeah, give me a client. Go to Purdue Law. That'd probably be a better client
that
anyway.
Mythical client, Purdue Law. Let's just get in there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go here, and I'm sure there'll be other types of documents here. Here we go. Here's a Word document. There's a PDF document, email documents. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to look at. Simply by clicking on the view, this over here is saying regarding Purdue, but if I say the view, there's the hide view, and now if I click on the view, it's going to open up this little window. Now that panel's pretty narrow right now, and you can take your list and move it over a little bit and give that panel a little more room. And in this instance, this email, it's quite large, so I can read it on this screen. I can go through and I can see, you know, if this is the correct email. If it's not, I can also come over here on my list, arrow down, and as I arrow down, my preview pane changes to see that next email. And so you can very quickly sort through here and find out whether or not it's the right email simply by scrolling down. Here's a PDF document. I can see that. Word document, or I'm sorry, Excel document. Here's a Word document. So there's all kinds of different things that you can just view over here. Now let's say I was searching for something in particular. Let's say that I am looking for the word Verizon. I'm going to go back up to the top of my list here, and I'm going to just type the word Verizon. And so I'm in my list doing a search for Verizon over here, and it's going to start to bring up documents, if it can find any, with that in there. Now it's looking for video right now. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But it will start looking for those instances of Verizon. And maybe Verizon was in italics and I couldn't find it.
Well,
let's try.
You're doing a type down. You're not doing a real search.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Let me get in and do that.
If you had done a search like up in here.
In here, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong spot. Let's try Verizon here. There we go. So now let's try to find that and search. And we will search the actual contents as well and see if we can't find that. Yep, got it. Okay, so now it's searching, and of course no Verizon. Let me try something with just Purdue. Let me just find Purdue and enter that. Now it's going to find those, and it should highlight in the list and in my previewer. So first it's finding everything in the list. So there's all my Purdue. So you can see we're inside of the documents in the title and the contents, and it's finding one of 13 views of Purdue. But if I look at my viewer also, it's going to highlight that search in the viewer as well. I'm going to pull my little, whoops, I grabbed my little arrow there. There we go. Make that a little bigger for you. So now I can see that I can also see those search results within the preview as well. So I could go through and see if any of those instances of Purdue are the ones that I want. So it can get pretty fancy if you want to just do a regular search or just want to look through a document to see if it's the right one, or search for a certain word or something inside of the document. Something else, when I'm in the document, there's some little buttons on my toolbar up here. So the first one is I can just go ahead and open that particular document. So if I have it on the preview, I can just click that little button there and open it. I also could double click on the document and open it. That's still going to open. But from the preview window, you can open it. I'm going to skip this one for just a minute, and we're going to come over here so we can refresh the screen. We also can fit it to read. So if I wanted to fit it to read the panel, You can also make that fit to width. That made it a little smaller. And then you also can do the fit to window. There's also some search, so I can search text right from within this particular document. So I was out doing a broad search of my list to try to find Purdue, but you also can do a search right here from within the document. So I'm going to get out of this search view for a second. I'm going to go back into my Purdue Law. Okay. I want to get rid of all those little Purdues in there for a minute. And let's just go and look in my viewer. And let's say in this document, I'm going to move this over a little bit more again. Drag it over. There we go. If I want to search for a certain item, let's say I want to search for bill. I'm going to search here and hit search. So it's looking for the text within that particular document to find the word bill. And I found 4 instances of the word bill. So this little search is searching for the text within the document. We also have a previous occurrence and next occurrence. So right now it's highlighted on the first occurrence of the word bill. It did highlight all the other instances, but if I want to jump to that section, I'm just hitting next occurrence. If I want to go back, I can hit the previous occurrence. So I can move about within the preview window. Now this is a one-page document, it's an email. But if I had a 50-page document that I'm trying to jump through and find a certain term, you can see where that would be very helpful to have the next occurrence, or the previous occurrence on there. You also can go ahead and print the document right here from the viewer. So I don't have to go back out on the list and hit print or anything. I'm in the viewer, you can hit the print button.
I'm going to jump in and say that that can sometimes be a little weird because you're printing from the viewer, you're not printing from Word, you're not printing from Outlook. So sometimes it'll lay out a little differently than you might expect.
So just be careful with it, but you can print that document there. Now this viewer right here is a shortcut to this view up here at the top. So this is the full screen view. So I'm looking at it in this little preview pane window over on the left, but if that's too small to read, and I don't know about you, but that for me is a little tiny to try to read that, you can hit the little magnifying glass, which is the view, and when that opens up, it'll open it in a separate window, and now you are looking at it in the actual viewer pane. So here is the full document on that screen, and I can go ahead and scroll down, or I can look at it and actually read it in full view. Now that does the same exact thing as if I hit this viewer. If I'm highlighted on a document here, I'm going to hide my view over on this side for a moment, highlight the document on my list, and click on the view up here. It just immediately takes me to the full screen view. So you have 2 choices there to either view it in the inline viewer on the side, or you can view it up here at the top, or once you get in it, you're thinking this might be the document I want, but I want to get a little closer look. You can still go ahead and get into that from that document right here, and you can view it. So again, hiding it, just clicking to the button that says hide, so you can open and close that throughout the day if you like, and you can find and view any document that you need to find. Paul?
Very good. Now I am going to talk about something totally different. I'm going to talk about saving emails from your phone. Now, not many people know that this can be done, so we're going to kind of start at the beginning. These on the left are my favorites. Now GX4 will open up folders for everything that is a favorite matter or a favorite place to store a document. And that means something that I've saved to or opened up or looked at in the last, I think it's 30, 40 days. So with that said, there is functionality in Worldox that you can take, and I'm going to go to my deleted items so I don't mess up my, there we go, we're in deleted items now. If I scroll down here, well, they're loading. If I scroll down here, I can drag one of these items, let go over here, and I will be moving it to a certain client or to a certain folder in Worldox. These are just a function of Outlook. I also have some set up. If we look at my favorites, I have some set up. I have one for STI, the people that make tabs in Practice Master. Some guy named Tom. I have one for unclassified, Cornet, who's our lead developer, Amazon, which is where I buy everything now. And so I can drag something over here and drop it, and it will go into that predefined folder. The difference between these and these is that these are favorites that are created by Worldox dynamically on the fly as I save to or open up documents from certain folders, whereas these are things that are going to stay there forever because I've created them separately. But these are basically shortcuts that install into Outlook. And that's not really what we're talking about, but it's the foundation for how we can do what we're here to talk about. If I am looking at my phone, so if you're a Worldox user and you have access to your email from your phone, I want you to pull out your phone right now and I want you to go into your email like I am. And I want you to get to where it's showing you your mailboxes, and you'll see at the top, just like you normally do, your inbox, your drafts, your sent, your junk, all that stuff. But if you scroll down, look what you're getting to. The same folders that we're seeing over here show up on your phone. And so if I go into an email, I'm on an iPhone, so if I go into an email on my iPhone and hit the Move button, it shows me all my folders. And most people don't notice this, but if they scroll down, all of these favorites and all of these predefined drop folders, we call them, are there as well. And so if I say I want to move something to Compass Point Legal on my phone, it will show up in Compass Point Legal in my Outlook. And my Outlook will say, oh, that's supposed to go to Compass Point Legal. I'll take care of it. I'm going to put it in Worldox for you. So the same folders that you may be used to, and if you're not, we have videos on how to use these and how they're created and all the things that you'd want to know about them. That's not what my point of my topic today. But if you're used to doing these, take a look at your phone and you'll find that they're also there. Now, a couple caveats. The fact that Worldox can take something out of these folders and drop it into the right place in Worldox is not a Microsoft Exchange thing. It is a Microsoft Outlook thing. Microsoft Exchange is your mail server. It either lives in a server on your premise, or it lives in some cloud-based Exchange server that you never see. Microsoft Outlook is the program that comes with Microsoft Office, and it gets loaded up on everybody's desktop, and it's where you go to look at your mail. These folders live in your Outlook. I'm sorry, they live in your Exchange, and that's why you can get to them from your phone. But the fact that Worldox can take something from one of these folders and move it into the proper place in Worldox, that functionality lives in your running copy of Outlook. Why am I telling you all this? Well, when you drag something or move something on your iPhone or your Android or whatever phone you have, when you move it from your inbox or your sent items or your whatever into a folder, it's moving it there, but it's not until Outlook is running on your machine that it's actually going to make it into Worldox. Because your Outlook running on your desktop is what facilitates the actual transfer from this folder actually into Worldox. I know it's a little confusing, but you have to understand this, because the fact that these folders live in Exchange means you can access them on your phone, but the fact that the functionality that moves things from these folders into the proper place in Worldox, the fact that that functionality lives in Outlook means until your copy of Outlook on your desktop is running against your mailboxes, which is how it runs, that will not actually move into Worldox. So let me give you a couple scenarios. You left your computer on, you are now at court, your Outlook is running, you drag something in here, it's going to go into Worldox. Okay? Your computer is off. You're in court. You drag something from your phone into the right folder. You move it into the right folder. It's not going into Worldox until you get back to your office. Not going into Worldox until you get back to your office, log into your desktop, and open Outlook. At that very moment, Outlook will say, oh, look, I've got something in this folder. I'm going to put it in Worldox. Okay? Last scenario, your computer is running, but Outlook is not. You closed it before you left. Same as if your computer's off. You put something into the right folder from your phone while you're sitting in the courtroom waiting for your trial to begin. It's not going to get into Worldox till you go back to the office and run Outlook. Now, one more caveat. These folders are drop folders that I created specific to a purpose. When I drag something to them and let go, it instantly puts it into Worldox. These folders are folders that you created, not yourself, but that Worldox created because you have used this matter or this folder within the last 30 or 40 days. When you drag something to it in Outlook, it will pop up and say, hey, just clarifying, you want to move this to this place, right? And you have to click OK. So the last thing to remember, if the folder that you move it to on your phone while you're at the courthouse is one of these, even if Outlook is running on your machine, it's not going to show up in Worldox right away. Why? Because the Outlook that's running on your machine is going to find that in there, and it's going to pop something up on your machine that says, hey, just checking, are you sure you want to move this to this folder? And until you click that in Outlook on your machine, it won't actually go into Worldox. So the bottom line is, you can keep your email sorted out while you're away from your desk by simply using the move button in your iPhone or your Android mail client to move it to the appropriate folder, whether it's one that you created as a self-created drop folder, or it's one that was created because it's a favorite. But you may not see it in Worldox till you get back to your office and verify that that's what you want to do. So you can keep things organized, but you may need to go back to your desk to actually get those things into Worldox. That's the answer to how to do that. Patty, did we have a question?
Yes, actually Janelle has two questions.
Okay.
The first being, is there a way to tell whether an email has already been saved to Worldox?
You mean from within your phone? No. There is a way, and we have a whole different virtual user group meeting where we covered this as a topic. There is a column you can add to Outlook that will show you whether it's been moved to Worldox, because it'll show you where it was moved to, but you can't see that on your phone. So the answer is no. Now, my answer to how you get around that, I always move things to Worldox. I do not copy them. I do not leave them in my Outlook. I take them from my Outlook and put them in the proper place in Worldox, because then I know that if my sent items is empty, I have moved everything I'm supposed to move into Worldox. So, no, on your phone, unfortunately, you can't see that, at least not at this point. What's the other question?
Her second question is, if we journal 100 emails when we are away from our computer, does that mean we will have to confirm this 100 times when we get back?
No. Just like if you were to take a whole bunch of emails, I'm going to mark these 4 and drag them over here, and I'm not going to let go. But if I let go, I'd be putting them all in. It would ask me to confirm once. Same thing's going to happen when you do the same thing from your phone. Oh, but if they're different, if they were going to 100 different matters or 100 different folders that weren't preset by you, were instead favorite folders, and you've got it set to confirm that, because that can be turned off also, then the answer is yes. If it was 100 different matters, there would be 100 different confirmation boxes waiting for you. Okay. That's all we have for today then. Next month, we are going to talk about using a document as a template, a best practice to use a document from one folder, from one matter, from one client as a template for another, and not making that age-old mistake of saving the new one over the old one. Okay? There is a set procedure for doing that. Mary Jo is going to cover that. And I'm going to talk about the Word ribbon, the Worldox ribbon that shows up in Word, and all of your options there, because there's some new stuff in the latest update, and there's some new stuff in GX4, and a lot of people aren't aware of what all their options are that are there. And of course, it wouldn't be a live event at Attorney Computer Systems without me taking you to attorneycomputersystems.com. Of course, I want you to notice the emphasis on that last S in the word systems, because without it, you won't get to the right place. Once you get here, if you hover over or click on the word videos up in the menu bar, you will end up at a place that will show you all of our different video titles. We have 6 different series or titles. 4 of them are live events, And we have 2 pre-recorded titles also. The live events, you are, of course, used to the virtual user group meetings because you are in one right now. You're in our Worldox virtual user group meeting. We also have VUGs, as we call them, for Tabs 3 and Practice Master. And we also have our Coffee Pot webinars that I give each month on some sort of an add-on or an ancillary product that adds value to either Tabs or Practice Master or Worldox. These are all live events. We also have our pre-recorded videos. Mary Jo records 3 e-bites every month, 1 on Tabs, 1 on Practice Master, 1 on Worldox. These are little 2, 3, sometimes 4-minute videos that take a very cool thing that's very easy to explain and shows you what it is. And then we have our longer format, Paul and Mary Jo show. That these can be 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes long. It's the same concept. We take something really cool, but it's broader, and it requires more time to dig deeper into explaining all the intricacies. So there's that, and then our shorter e-bites video series. If you'll click on any of these, let's go into the Worldox, since that's where we are. You will see a very short description of what the title is. If it's a live event, you'll see information on the next event, what the topics are, links to register. These are the same links. They go to the same place. One just happens to show the link, one does not. If you scroll down, you'll find pre-recorded versions of all the past, in this instance, Worldox virtual user group meetings. Here's the one you're in right now. So this one is not currently posted. It's currently in post-production because we're actually doing it right now. But as you scroll down even further, you'll see recorded versions of everything. So you can kind of browse if that's what you like to do and kind of scroll through all the Worldox VUGs or Tabs VUGs or Practice Master VUGs. Or if you're looking for something specific like how to email statements, you can simply type a word here, go to a list of all the titles that contain that particular word, and find exactly what you're looking for. So that's it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day, rest of the month, and of course a good holiday, and we will see you next year. Thanks much. Bye-bye.